Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a Central Kentucky man is being remembered after a deadly car crash. How his family is moving forward. And questions are now being raised about how some Kentucky optometrists were licensed.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good Tuesday morning to you. I'm Caroline Mueller here with you on this January 13th. The time is now 6:30, which means it's time to check in with meteorologist Megan Desmel for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, I'm kind of just bracing myself for impact right now. I can see those cold temperatures coming. I did finally find my gloves, hat, and scarf this weekend though, so I'm ready.
Okay, there's good news. At least you're prepared heading into the weather. Well, this morning, it's kind of like a practice run for you. We're looking at upper 20s, low 30s. And while the sun isn't out, keep in mind these temperatures for some folks are very similar to the highs that we will see on Thursday. Yes, the warmest temperature, so keep that in mind. But here's what we're seeing right now. Not too bad for this time of year, but as we head into the afternoon, significant improvements are on the way, mid to upper 50s for this afternoon. And on top of that, we're looking at sunny to mostly sunny skies, which will make the temperatures feel just a little bit better. But in terms of what we're seeing in satellite radar, nice and clear. Again, keeping track of nice and clear conditions all day long. Caroline.
Megan, thank you. The London Police Department says they have Main Street closed this morning due to a fire. Main Street is completely shut down between 3rd and 5th Street. The London Fire Department and assisting agencies are working to contain the fire. It is advised to seek alternate routes for your morning commute. It is unknown if the road will be open. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. A person was arrested last night after a special response team was called to a barricade situation in Bourbon County. This happened in the Mash Fork area at 9 last night. The sheriff's office says they were trying to serve a burglary warrant. Deputies say a man barricaded himself inside a home and was armed. Around midnight, the sheriff's office said the suspect surrendered peacefully to the special response team. That person is now in custody. A police officer has been placed on administrative leave after a shooting Sunday night left a man dead in Boyle County. Danville police say they responded to a call around at 9:30 Sunday night where 29-year-old Cody Downey was threatening self-harm with a knife. Officers arrived at Downey's apartment and found him holding a knife. Downey was told to drop the knife and he charged at an officer, knocking him to the ground. The officer fired his service weapon, hitting Downey in the chest. Downey was taken to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. The officer was placed on administrative leave and Kentucky State Police are investigating. We're learning more about what police say led to a weekend crash in Bourbon County. That crash killed one man and sent another to jail. According to an arrest citation, police say 28-year-old Nathaniel Pack was driving drunk when he crashed, killing his passenger CJ McKee. The citation says Pack's blood alcohol concentration was 0.110. McKee was found lying near a fence and later died in the ambulance. His family says he and Pack had been friends since middle school.
If he just felt an ounce of pain of what it's like to lose somebody that close to you, he wouldn't have got behind that wheel drunk.
Pack is being charged with several charges, including reckless homicide. McKee's family has started a GoFundMe for CJ's funeral expenses. A link to that GoFundMe can be found under the story on our website, WYMT.com. A Clay County man was arrested last week in Perry County in an attempt to meet a minor for sexual activities. WYMT's McKinley Calandrino spoke to the Perry County Sheriff's Office, who is leading the investigation. Viewer discretion is advised.
On Tuesday, January 6th, 63-year-old Gregory Sizemore of Manchester was arrested by the Perry County Sheriff's Office after attempting to meet a minor at the Grand View Plaza in the Combs area to exchange money for sexual activities. According to Captain Jesse Day, who met with Sizemore, the Sheriff's Office received a tip from social services about the case.
Social workers that talked to me told me that he was wanting to meet this male subject and take him back to the London Corbin area with him.
According to the arrest citation, the juvenile had told a social worker that Sizemore wanted to participate in sexual activities and would drive to Hazard to do so. Officials say the communication was made through a popular social media app, and the investigation is ongoing.
We're going to obtain some search warrants for some cell phones, social media.
While officials say it is not currently a, quote, issue, similar incidents are becoming more frequent in Perry County and eastern Kentucky.
Just be interactive with your juveniles, no matter the age. Kind of keep up with who they're in contact with, because these predators come from far away to anywhere. They'll go anywhere. Strongly suggest to make any social media platform a private account so nobody can look at it unless you are friends with that person.
And officials say Sizemore has been faced with similar charges back in 1997. However, he was shown not guilty. In Perry County, McKinley Calandrino, WYMT Mountain News.
Sizemore is being held at the Kentucky River Regional Jail and is facing several charges. He will have a preliminary hearing on January 20th at 9 a.m. In Laurel County, the sheriff's office says a man was arrested after driving recklessly on Friday night. Authorities say 56-year-old Gary Ritchie failed to stop and led police on a chase north of London. After the vehicle stopped, police found that Ritchie was under the influence of alcohol. Ritchie was charged with 8 counts of first-degree wanton endangerment, first-degree evading police, and driving under the influence. A former London firefighter has sued the city for discrimination. Mackenzie Jackson worked for the department full-time for around 3 years. She says during that time her co-workers discriminated against her and harassed her because of her gender and sexuality. Jackson was the department's only female firefighter and is openly gay. The lawsuit also says she was threatened worse after being hurt on the job in 2023 and after her father accused the city of discriminating against him that same year. Jackson was fired last fall. She says the city did it as retaliation. Jackson wants a judge to say that the city violated the Kentucky Civil Rights Act and give her financial compensation. A street has closed in a busy part of Ashland. It's on 29th Street, and it may impact the daily commute for some. It extends from Lexington Avenue to Winchester Avenue, a stretch of road with a number of businesses and drivers passing through on a daily basis. Local and business traffic will be allowed, but all truck traffic must detour to 25th Street. Emergency access will also be maintained in the area. Officials say the construction project may last up to 2 weeks.
What they're actually doing is installing a manhole on a sewer line. The manhole is going to allow us to get access to the sewer to be able to put a liner inside that sewer so that we don't have to excavate it to repair it.
Officials say the project could be finished sooner but in the meantime, they recommend drivers find an alternate route when possible. Emergency management officials in Pike County are asking folks to sign up for an alert system that could potentially save lives. The alert system is called Hyper Reach and began being used in the county this month. Emergency Management Director Nee Jackson says residents who sign up will be sent immediate notifications about all types of emergencies, including winter storm, flash flood, or tornado warnings. Notifications can be sent through texts or emails. Also, audio messages can be sent to landline phones.
If someone gets that notification, they may be able to get to higher ground. They may be able to get out of their home. Instead of one of our first responders doing a boat rescue, if it's a flooding situation, that person or persons could possibly get out and get to higher ground before they get surrounded by water.
Jackson says close to 700 people have signed up for this service, and he'd love to see that number get much higher. Questions are now being raised about how some Kentucky optometrists were licensed and what that could mean for patient care. Records show more than 20 optometrists were approved to practice in Kentucky without passing all parts of the required national exam. For years, the state licensing board waived portions of that test and last summer even allowed a Canadian exam for substitute for part of the U.S. requirement. The national group's president, Michael Olson, doesn't understand why Kentucky's board made these decisions.
This idea of substituting this part for that part or not requiring a certain part honestly makes no logical sense to me.
Now the National Testing Organization is pushing back, and the Kentucky Attorney General's office has ruled part of the board's practice illegal. The board has since changed course, issuing an emergency rule that requires all optometrists to pass every part of the national exam by 2027. Kentucky schools are making the change from the ACT to the SAT this spring, and Hardin County schools are preparing for that change. Chief Academic Officer for Hardin County Schools, Greg Sutton, says the SAT offers more benefits to students, such as adaptive questions, a shorter test length, and focus on critical thinking.
The ACT did have an English, math, or reading, and a science section. What you see about the SAT is it doesn't necessarily have a section specific to science. It's primarily reading, writing, and math. But what they do is they integrate the science questions across the different sections within the test.
Sutton also says the SAT is accepted nationwide and at many Kentucky schools such as UK, U of L, WKU, and EKU.
A pretty pleasant day all day long as we're tracking mostly sunny to sunny skies. However, it will be a little bit chilly this morning as we're heading out the door. A mixture of some 20s and 30s, 25 in Boonville, 23 in Manchester, 34 right now in Jackson and in Hazard. By the time we head into the afternoon, those temperatures will be warming up from the low 30s, though, into a mixture of the mid 50s, which again will be pretty pleasant along with those mostly sunny skies. Caroline.
Thanks, Megan. And thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:41. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. When people don't pick up after their pets, it can cause real problems. We'll show you how DNA testing is helping some communities find a solution.